Good afternoon to all of you watching at home. I'm Bru Whitley, and you're watching the news, guys. Matt! Piss! Every Today we will cover the latter half of going green. You know, cannabis, marijuana, Mary Jane, hemp, pot, dope, bang, green, bud, ganja, reefer, grass, loco weed, loud. Cannabis is more or less dominating the major in holes industries in the United States right now, such as entertainment, politics, and medical practices. We had our field reporter Chris Durio interview a handful of our show's viewers via online web chat to see what they think of cannabis and determine whether they believe it is stringy balls in a big fat pile of juice. Icky. Determine whether they believe it exploits high or low values in modern culture. Yes. Yes.
Hello everyone, I'm Chris Durio. I'm going to be interviewing several of our station's viewers in better hopes of understanding what cannabis does for our society. We'll learn if they object to the use or strongly support the use of cannabis. Our first viewer lives in Jackson, Mississippi. His name is Jay. Jay, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How about yourself?
I'm doing well, Jay. Thanks for asking. Now, let's jump into it. Jay, what are your opinions on cannabis? Do you think it's a good solution for people who struggle with medical conditions? And do you think cannabis could play a factor in boosting today's economy?
Honestly, man, I don't see anything wrong with it. It's done nothing but boost the economy. It helps people. It's proven medically. It helps with cancer. It helps with pain. It helps with anxiety. And I feel like if a doctor, feels the necessity that it should be allowed, there's no reason why. Like, if Joe Schmo doesn't like it, he doesn't have to get a prescription.
Awesome, Jay. And what are your views on the use of marijuana in your area? Obviously, you believe it should be legalized, but do you have any objections to people who smoke pot for the wrong reasons?
Yeah, man, I mean, it's pretty much just like anywhere else. It's probably not as big as in the legalized states like Washington, Colorado, and California, but there's definitely a pretty big movement here to try to get it legalized in Mississippi. Because before, I mean, it's literally done nothing but help economies, help people. Crime rates are lower. There's not so many people selling on playgrounds and all that nonsense. So it honestly, it really should happen in all 50 states.
Jay, thank you so much for being a part of today's broadcast. Much love from us here at TNG. You take care, buddy.
Yeah, you too, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. Shout out to all the viewers that are watching this. Keep watching these guys. They got big things coming. Peace out.
All right, next on the air, we've got Ricky from Springfield, Missouri. Ricky, how you doing, love?
Not too bad.
Good to hear, Ricky. Now, as he probably just saw, I asked our last viewer about what he believes cannabis contributes in today's society. Assuming you are also a product of the 90s, you should be aware that cannabis influences a majority of teens and young adults that fall in your general age group. Getting down to business, would you say pot is for everyone? And do you think the high is truly effective for people who struggle with medical conditions?
I think really weed is for everybody in different ways. It definitely impacts people in different ways. I've seen it work in positive impacts. I've seen it work in negative impacts. So just depending on who you are and how your body functions with it, especially with the chemical differences that it causes. With me, I've got anxiety, stress, depression, and it had a negative impact on me. I started making very stupid choices. I wanted to keep that high. I wanted to try other things. But with some people, I've actually got a friend who has epilepsy, and that's definitely affected her in a positive way. Whenever she smokes, she doesn't have a single episode. She doesn't have a single seizure, but one day without it and they're uncontrollable. So it just kind of depends on who you are and how your body is to depend on the outcome.
And very good input, Ricky. I agree strongly with what you said. So here's my last few questions for you. Is pot a good activity for you to utilize personally? If so, do you enjoy smoking alone or with a small to large group of friends?
Just kind of like I said before, I enjoyed smoking. I enjoyed that high. I thought it was a lot of fun. It definitely brings a lot of good friend groups together. I mean, some bad, some good, just depending on the friend circle. It's definitely a social thing, unless you're like sitting at home smoking weed. But for me, it was definitely the social outcome. But with me and my issues, it definitely led to bad decisions. But it was a lot of fun. Had a good high, but in the end, wasn't the best choice for me.
Okay, all very good information. Thank you for your time and your input. You have a great rest of your weekend, Ricky.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was definitely a good opportunity, and hit me up if you need any more questions answered.
And we most certainly will, Ricky. Okay, now we don't have much time left, but let's try to squeeze in one more viewer, shall we? We have Colby streaming live from an undisclosed location in East Texas. Colby, how you doing, cowgirl?
Great.
Very lit.
Amazing.
Uncontrollably lit.
Now, Colby, it appears you've got some guests with you. Do you mind identifying them?
Okay, this is Bernice Versace, and this, come here, Ian. Ian's drunk, and he's right there, and he's passed out. Okay.
Right here, Durio.
Well, it's very nice to meet you folks. It appears you all are a tad bit intoxicated, which bodes well with the questions I'm about to ask you. If you don't mind, I'm going to ask you all individually, starting with Mr. Ian in the back seat. Ian, I'll try to make this easy for you, buddy. Do you think cannabis is a good or bad habit? How would you describe the sensation?
I think it's good. I think it's lit. I think pot is lit. That's all I have for you, Chris.
Oh, okay. Fair enough, Ian. Thanks. Well, moving on to Miss Vernice. Vernice, what do you think about pot? Do you think it affects society in a suitable manner?
It's really good. Definitely.
It's so lit.
Yeah.
This is Well, Colby, I didn't forget about you. Your last but definitely not least. Same question applies to you. What you got?
I think pot is a good thing. And it's lit. And it's good. And it's great.
Charles.
Thank you, Colby. Your input was somewhat incomprehensible, but it'll suffice. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up as fast as I can. You all have a very non-vomitable evening. Drive safe, and thanks so much for coming on the show.
Okay, thank you, Katie. Cool.
You too, lit, Durio.
Oh my god.
I need a cigarette.
So, yeah, as we observed, I'm high as balls. Well, as you know, people are high as balls. Some can handle it and some can't. More or less, we have determined that there are incredible uses for cannabis. I no longer fight the urge to curse every 10 seconds. Can I get some cookies? We take you now to Matt Johnson for your weekly weather report. But seriously, hey, can I get a hot dog or something? Thanks, Matt. Well, that's all we have today. Tune in. Dude, chill. Tune in next week for a very special surprise from us here at the Newscast. Everyone enjoy your weekend. The right way. I'm Bru Whitley.